Today I'm in the center of Naples, but we're going to get away from here. Today we are going to see a volcano. There's an unknown volcano not far from here. People classify it as a super volcano. It's not Mount Vesuvius. Yes, Mount Vesuvius is right there, but we are not going to that one. So we're going to a different one called Campi Flegrei. In front is also the port where a lot of the cruise ships come in. Here we've already got, I think Viking Star, it says, a tour from one of the cruise ships. So up ahead you can get cruise ships to Capri, Sorrento, Amalfi Coast, many other islands as well. And it's where all the cruisers go to sail the Mediterranean and wherever else. Here is the bus station we want, right at the bottom of Piazza Municipio, and there should be the 101 bus. The buses aren't usually on time, so we'll see. 45 minutes later, just got off the bus, and I'm in a very quiet area. Narrow, windy roads, very nice. At some points on the bus, I was able to smell all the sulphur coming from the volcano. Okay, just walking uphill, not too far, we've got the first signs of the volcano. So we've got gases or whatever coming out from the ground. So I'll show you on my phone. I think you'll get a better view that way. Here we've got smoke rising from the volcano. But I will say, it doesn't smell like rotten eggs or sulfur or anything like what I smelt on the bus. So maybe I'm not in the direction that the wind is going. Like that one there, it does look like it's going opposite way. But I don't know if there's any other vents where it erupts. This area has been closed off because increase in volcanic activity over the last few years, I believe. And in the space of 1 year, there was over 54,000 recorded earthquakes. Now, they are not very strong earthquakes. Most are less than 3 on the Richter scale, but there were, I think there were 5 earthquakes between 4 and 5 on the Richter scale. There was 4.6 recently, which I felt. That's probably the biggest earthquake I've ever felt. So there's definitely multiple holes in the ground here with the smoke and steam gases coming out. So this is inside a massive 13-kilometer wide volcanic crater, which was formed from a massive eruption in ancient times. So because this area is so wide, 13 kilometers wide, there's not a noticeable mountain like with Mount Vesuvius, for example. It comes up on you. You don't really notice it. I wouldn't have even noticed there's a volcano here if I didn't know about it already. And the reason why we don't see a big mountain is because the mountain collapsed during the massive volcanic eruption long ago. And you can also see like there's fences, railings and all that sort of stuff from when people were able to visit. So I'm just walking up here to see if we can get a better view the higher we get. Now, about 4 kilometers west of here, there's Monte Nuovo, so that means new mountain. And that entire mountain was formed in a few days when this volcano last erupted in 1538. So it's nearly 500 years since it last erupted, so maybe it's due. And this whole area rises and falls because the volcano's, well, what they say, breathing. Over the last 20 years, Pizzoli, this area, it's risen by nearly 1.5 meters. But there are parts around this area in Naples where it rises and falls as the gas builds up and releases. I imagine like they'd have to build the houses very differently to most other places, because the rising of the ground would surely make the buildings crack and weaken. It's very steep. So we're pretty much at the top of the road, but it's closed. I can see there's a sign here, so I don't think I'll be able to get a view of the inside of the volcano anymore. But the eruption long ago here it sent ash all the way to Russia. So miles away, hundreds, thousands of miles away. Absolute ban on public access along the Via Costa di Agnano. So the sulphur terra crater. So can't get any closer than that. Here we got an abandoned building. And what makes it hard for scientists to work out if or when the volcano may erupt is that underneath there's apparently a small magma lake on top of a large magma lake, and then they interact, and I don't know, it's very complicated, so they aren't sure when it might erupt. So that's why it's closed, because don't want something to happen like in New Zealand a long time ago when all those tourists died. When it does erupt, it's going to cause mayhem. Got a great view. It's quite bright because of the sun, but you can see I think Ischia Island, a few different islands up ahead, maybe Capri in the back. I've walked up a bit more and it looks like there's a little viewing thing. Yes, so it looks like it's on top of a house here, so I don't know if I can really go on it, but here you can get a higher view into the volcano. And I can now, I don't know if it's because I'm higher up, but I can hear the steam, gases and everything coming from the volcano. It'd be very good if we could walk across the top of the ridge, but unfortunately no. I will tell you what, the area is so peaceful. I guess as long as there's no volcano erupting, it'd be a nice place to live, great view of the ocean and the surrounding area. Don't have to deal with traffic. What a glorious day. So if you ever want to check out this area, go to Google Maps and search for Vista Point Campi Flegrei and it will take you that way. Use the app City Mapper rather than Google Maps. City Mapper gives more options, like Google Maps didn't give the option for the bus, whereas City Mapper does, so I prefer City Mapper.